What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. This training, we're going to break down the non-STEM humanities summer programs. So now a lot of people are interested in summer opportunities, but we may not be interested in the engineering, the computers, the sciences, right? But our child is interested in doing something over summer, and there are summer programs available. So today in this session, we're going to break down a few of them. I'm going to give you guys some general tips first, and we're going to go ahead and just rattle a few of these here to give you guys some ideas to start looking for. If it's our very first time meeting, my name is Coach Tony. I've been helping families with the college admissions process for 16 years now, with my start in this industry, learning from UC Berkeley themselves. I was a former reader there. So when students applied to Berkeley, I was one of the people who read their apps, recommended yes or no to students. And after that, I learned that pretty much what I learned is pretty much what every single school across the US does as well. So it's nothing really different between the UCs and the Ivies and top private schools. It's all the same factors that we look at. That's why we've been successful with sending our students pretty much to all the top schools you can think of, privates, Ivies, and all the schools in between as well. Right. So in this training, we're going to go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can dive straight in. We are going live to a group of folks here on Zoom. If you guys can see the screen, go ahead and let me know in the chat if you guys can see the screen really quick. It should say non-STEM humanities summer program right there. There you go. A few yeses. Thank you, everyone, for that here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and dive straight in. Actually, before we dive straight in, one thing I do want to invite you, for anyone who is interested, is that our goal is to help you guys kind of make sure you guys go down the right direction in this path. May it be you guys join us for our free videos that we throw multiple times a week for you guys on here, on different social platforms like YouTube, right? We just want to make sure you guys are good to go. And if you guys want to work with us, we have that option as well. But at the very least, no matter what, we do want to make sure your family is on the right track. So something we do offer to new families, if you're interested in a free 15-minute coaching call, it's not a sales call. You actually cannot buy anything on this call itself, but you can jump on a call with one of our advisors. They'll go ahead and ask a few questions, see where your child's at, and give you some recommendations on what you should be working on next. And that's it. Again, they can't buy anything. They can't even sell you anything on that first call either. Quick little chat just to give you some feedback. If you are interested in working together, you let them know. They'll schedule another call. That's when they'll try to sell you a program. So, but on the first call, I just want to help you guys out first. So for those of you who are interested, you can go ahead and this link. I'll drop in the live Zoom. I'll go for those of you watching from this in the future. The link's probably down below. Go ahead and tap that. If you want to also text the word coach to my number, 949-298-6234. We'll help you do it that way. And I'm reading off these notes right now today. I'll be adding a few more notes to them after this call. If you want access to that, just drop the word notes again to 949-298-6234 as well. Okay, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So first off, again, this is actually a part 3 training. So if you're actually joining us for the very first time, there is 2 other parts that you missed that the second half might not be applicable to you because, or not to you, it's just probably you wouldn't want to do it, because the first session I did a session on engineering computer science summer programs. But during that training, I also broke down why you should be doing summer programs and why you shouldn't be doing summer programs. Who is summer programs good for and who is not good for. So if you haven't watched that, that's a good one to catch up on. And actually recently I did a part 2, which is STEM summer programs, but we actually brought on Coach Victor on the call. He's one of our advisors that you actually might meet with him if you do the 15-minute call. Coach Victor's amazing. He specializes in helping our students with internship opportunities. One of the big things you learn about summer programs, they're very competitive. Like, some of these programs are uber competitive. So you're competing against a lot of people. And the other thing is some of these are also very expensive. Again, I tell families part of day one, do not do this to put yourself in a financial pickle, right? If the money allows, if anything, sure, go for it. But don't feel you have to just for the sake of the price, right? So to kind of counter both of those, Coach Victor taught families how to actually create your own internship opportunity. So he gave a literally step by step, word for word kind of template to help you guys out with that. So if you guys are missing one of those two other ones, go ahead and send me a quick text. Let me know, and I'll have myself or I'll have our team send that over to you there. Okay, but kind of the last 3 of 3 trainings. So here's some pro tips, right? Some pro tips to talk first before we actually dive into the various programs. And I kind of broke them up to the various sections as well. So pro tip number 1, right? The reason why we're doing this training now, by the way, if you're watching this live, it is in November, right? The reason why we're doing November, there are actually a few programs that are actually open right now. One example being RSI, MIT, one of their programs called the Research Summer Institute. That's actually open right now and is actually due next month too. So one of those few programs that are due super, super early, but a lot of summer programs are open in December with deadlines in January. So knowing this ahead of time, you're giving yourself an extra like few week head start to start to look for these applications, start to create the deadlines, start to plan out your next few weeks to make sure you have time to fill out the application and time to do the essays, right? One of the things that I did with the other trainings, I didn't do it for this one, but we might do a part 4. If you guys want, I can break down some of these as well too, is that each of these may have essay questions. They may have video responses for you to respond to as well. So you want to have the time to make sure you can be able to craft these very, very well to kind of showcase who you are here, right? So the more time, the better. There are some that you'll see that the first 2 trades, and the reason why I didn't do it for a lot for here is I noticed a lot of these apps aren't even open yet for next year. So then the questions may change. So again, may do a part 4 of like all the updated ones once they're all open up. Here's how you break down each prompt. That might be a future part 4 training there. But keep in mind, we're kind of getting ready early. Number 2, for a lot of the essay questions, right? They're going to ask you, why do you want to do this program? Or what makes you want to do this as well, too? The biggest thing, the big takeaway I'm sharing when it comes to like, how do you do the essays is you need to articulate your passion, right? For this field and how it aligns with your goals. One big mistakes a lot of families do is they brag, wow, this program is amazing in this. And they know their program is great, right? So you don't need to tell them that their program is great. You need to tell them why that is a perfect fit for you based on your goals, right? Not just because you want to do it because it's awesome. Why does it fit within the bigger context of what you hope to do in the future? Another thing to do is in the application, they're going to ask for like resume. They're going to ask for different things that you've done. You do want to showcase kind of what you have been doing. And if they're asking for a resume for students that are first time doing a resume, right, you want to focus it only on the things that's relevant. If you're applying to, let's say, a writing program, right, you want to focus all your activities on writing. If you did a random math competition, you could include it, but it might not play a big role in like a writing based kind of context. So keeping that in mind there, right? Another big thing people always look for is leadership opportunities than anything. College admissions, summer programs, internship opportunities, highlighting leadership roles and keeping in mind leadership is not just formal roles, it's also informal roles too. You don't have to just have the title. You can also share what leadership traits you've done as well. Okay. This is a big one, right? So again, if you're watching this training, you probably are going to be applying to a few summer programs this upcoming cycle. One thing keep in mind, you'll see a little pro tip, a lot of schools do ask very similar questions, just like college apps. They do ask very similar questions. The big thing I do not recommend, however, is don't copy, paste, submit. Right? You can copy, but you want to edit, right? You want to keep the framework, but you want to customize each answer specifically to that program. We use something we call the whiteout test, right? So it's a really cool thing you can do. You can do it on your own. You don't need me there, right? If you put the phrase there and you take out the name of the program or name of whatever it is, could the reader mistake it for another program, another person? If the answer is yes, then you weren't as specific. It needs to be so specific that it's you, or is this program, or this is why you want to do it. It's so specific that you cannot mistake it for anything else. We call it the whiteout test because if you white out, could another program, anything fit in there and still make sense? The answer should be no. And if the answer is yes, that means it wasn't clear, it wasn't direct enough to that program there. Another one is going to be some of them do have interviews. Some of them also have video responses, right? One of the pro tips here is confidence. Confidence is probably the most important thing. And if you have a chance to do a pre-recorded interview, right? The biggest thing I recommend is if you're able to pre-record it, right? Make sure it's perfect. So how you make sure it's perfect is you want to say the right things the best you can. Again, these calls, I don't really have a script. I have these in my notes, but I'm just kind of winging it as I go, kind of just talking to you all and sharing, right? But if I want to make it super, super professional, I could have like a teleprompter, an iPad or something right out of the screen, the video, so I can read off it. The only issue with that is that when you're looking, right, on the screen, your eyes are usually looking like a different angle, right? The issue with that is that they can tell you're reading off something. So a cool tool I shared, I think on yesterday's call, is a tool called Descript, right? Descript.com, I believe it's still free. It's a free app that it will move your eyes straight to the middle. So you can read off screen, but it's a free like AI technology where it'll move your eyes back to the middle. So it'll look like you're looking at the screen, even though you're actually looking at a screen to decide to read off something there. Okay. Biggest thing, make sure you submit by the deadline. It's a silly thing I say, but again, please don't wait to the very last day before at the minimum. If not, try to do like a week or two before. I think that's always like nice sweet spot. Week or two before the opposite deadlines. There's usually no tech issues or anything, so you're able to email it in and you're submit in and you're good to go there. One really big thing a lot of people don't know is I would ask for scholarship opportunities at every single program, regardless of your income, right? Because if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be a no, right? And some of these programs you'll see are very expensive. So definitely apply, right? At the end of the day, if you get in, doesn't mean you have to go. You have the choice of should I go or should I not go? And that's a family decision afterwards, right? After weighing everything else. But, right, as you're applying, there'll be opportunities to apply for scholarship opportunities for financial aid. I would recommend anybody, unless you make like, again, 999 million a year or something where you max out the numbers, then maybe it's not too bad for you, right? But for most families we work with, if you can save a few thousand here and there to help with this, it goes a long way too. So definitely, again, reach out to scholarship opportunities. You'll see on the apps, they'll tell you scholarships email here or apply through this portal instead. I would definitely go for that. Again, regardless of your income, let them tell you no, right? But if they don't tell you no, then I would go for it. Make sure you can follow up, right? Some people, whatever issues, technology, a lot of times they don't receive, isn't that? If you follow up, they'll be able to confirm, yes, we do have your app or this and that. So you are good. You don't have to stress out there. And again, apply to multiple programs. Again, don't just apply to one and cross your fingers, right? If you're going to go down this route of summer programs, definitely kind of cast a wide net and try to exceed the odds of you getting in as well too. Okay. So that is going to be some quick final tips when it comes to the summer program itself. Now, let's go ahead and dive into a few programs that you guys can consider. Again, use these programs not as an exhaustive list, because this is not every program out there. I just found a few that I think will be a great fit for some of you guys. Again, I'm doing this with like everyone. We had like almost like I think 200 people register for this event. So I'm like, based on what you guys are, let me try to find the programs based on your grades, based on anything that we knew about that. So I try to do my best with that. But again, doesn't mean I can get every single program. There are a lot of them out there. So again, we can help you guys. If you're interested in that 15-minute call, we can definitely use part-time to help you guys with this. But big things, use it as a starting base, right? If this program sounds kind of cool, start poking into it, poke through it, look at the requirements. Do you qualify? Should you apply? Go for it. And then again, at the end of the day, right, going back to the first session, don't do this because it looks good for college. That is probably the worst reason to do a summer program. You're doing it because of the opportunity and experiences that you'll get that you can't really get in other ways, right? A lot of summer programs are on the school campus. Very, very few opportunities to actually be on a college campus in this capacity than anything else that you'll do in high school, right? So keep in mind, that's going to be the big one. And at the end of the day, this is like spoilers a little bit for everyone. When you're sharing this on your application, even talking about the program isn't the big focus for us either. It's going to be the why, what did you take away from the program and how did the program make you the person you are today? Okay, so the first batch of programs is more for the writers. So if anyone here is interested in writing, journalism, and those kind of writing spaces, again, today is non-STEM. So I picked anything non-science, non-engineering, non-computer science as well too. Okay, so if you're interested in like the writing, again, doesn't mean you have to be a writing major. No, you don't have to be a writing major. If again, this is based on interest. So if you're interested in writing, right? If you're interested in journaling as well too, right? Consider these. Not saying you have to, just consider these as well too. So here's one called the Iowa Young. Again, those who are interested, just text the word notes. I'll send you these. Unless you want to screenshot the screen and look it up yourself, you can do that as well too. But text the word notes. We'll go ahead and send it to you guys over as well. But I put like again some links to the different programs you can look into, deadlines you can kind of see. Some of them I have this year. Some of them I told them, hey, surround because then the summer programs don't change, right? Here's the beauty also of starting early is that let's say you're in ninth grade, right? There are some programs you'll see that are not open to ninth grade. Some are, right? But not like this one might be, I believe, high school, right? So this one could be, but there's some that is only seeing juniors or only seniors are eligible. In that case, right? It's something to keep in mind because then the dates don't really change. It opens on this same period. It closes on the same period. You can add it in your calendar. So when that year comes up, you're able to have that as well too. Okay, so here's the one. It's called the Iowa Young Writers Studio. 2-week program for high school students there, right, in Iowa, University of Iowa. Here's another one, Kenyon Review Young Writers Workshops. This is in Ohio. They have residential and online. So if you actually, again, it doesn't mean you have to go there. Again, keep in mind, not every program is at the schools, right? You can do these online as well. So this one is in Ohio and online. This one is California State Summer School for the Arts Writing Program, CSSSA. In Sacramento. It's a 4-week program. You also see here, these programs are different time lengths, right? We talked about this on the last session, is that might play a role for you guys as well too, because again, let's say you have summer plans, right? You have like a lot of our families travel during summer. Cool. You probably can't do like an 8-week program, a residential program, because you probably can't make it all the way, right? But you can probably do like a 1 or 2-week or maybe at most 4-week program, and you still have another month and a half-ish to kind of hang out with family and travel as well too. So keeping that in mind. This one you see for California families here. Another one, Juniper Young Writers Online Writing Lab. This is at UMass, right? University of Massachusetts. Amherst, 1 or 2 weeks long. This app is, I believe, it's out or is out very soon. They already had a deadline for next year's already available. This one's a little later as well too. The next one is in Ohio, Reynolds Young Writers Workshop. Same thing as a 1-week program. Again, this you can see also selective, right? Selective means hard to get. So again, don't apply. Say, all right, I'm good, right? Definitely apply to multiple of these, so you have the best shot here. UCLA has a program, writing workshop, summer camp program as well too, and as on campus and online options as well too. This is pretty much open really big. Grades 5 to 12. So if those of you guys in middle school, right, this might be something for you guys to consider as well too. Okay, so that's there's more, two more. Columbia has a program for you guys as well too. 1 week in New York. Keep in mind, there's going to be some programs have priority deadlines, right? And regular deadline. I do recommend, just like how college apps, so summer programs are a really cool opportunity because it's very similar. I do recommend if you can do the priority deadline, definitely go for that. Okay. And the next one is Princeton summer program as well too. This is 6-week, and this one's tuition free. So keep in mind, some of these do cost money, but some of these are free. Right. So the hard part is getting in, because once you get in, then you're good. But the hard part is getting in first. So keeping that in mind here. CC, I think I already have that. Oh, this is it. This is moving to the arts now. Right. So that is the first batch of schools. These are just writing one. Again, not an exhaustive list. You can look for more of them. If you want some local ones, type in summer camp writing state, and then they'll probably pull up a list of them in your area. If you're from a big town, even you pick your city or county, they might even populate a few of them locally for you guys as well too. Keep in mind, these are typically hosted at colleges. So if you wanted to do that approach, you can look up like the school's name, summer programs, and filter from there. That's another way to kind of look at it, especially if you live next to a college. That's a really easy way to look up these as well too. Next batches are the arts, or students who are interested in the arts. Found a few of them for you guys. This is also called CCSSSA, but this was more for the arts there. Summer of Art at Otis College. It's now LA, 4 weeks. Again, this is pretty open to a lot of students as well, too. 14 and a half to 19 years old. Next one, Illa Wild is in California, 1 to 4 weeks. Again, this is also open to a lot of different grades. Also, so this one, again, keep in mind, right? Some of these are for older, like a lot of these STEM ones were like juniors and seniors only. A lot of these other ones are kind of open to a lot of folks as well too. So definitely do that. Rolling admissions. So what rolling admissions is that they're going to have cycles, right? They have cycles of applications where the sooner they fill up their class, they're done. So I recommend always trying to get the next rolling, like the earlier the better, because once they fill up the rolling, that's it. So even though they might have a future rolling deadline, they might not make it to the future rolling deadline. That's the thing about there. Okay. Next one, UCLA Institute of Art. Has one, again, 2 weeks per session. They have online and in-person. Rhode Island School of Design, pre-college program. This is in Rhode Island, 6 weeks. Again, you can start seeing this is a pretty lengthy one as well too there. And that is going to be some of the arts. Again, probably a lot more. These are some of the ones I found. Okay. Next ones for those who are interested in pre-law, right? Those are going to be future lawyers. Just a caveat, not caveat, little asterisk, right? Little pro tip, little strategy tip for you guys. There's no such thing as a pre-law major at most schools, right? Pre-law is saying, I want to be a lawyer in the future. However, there's actually no major that you need to be a lawyer. Right? You could be poli-sci, be a lawyer. Some schools offer law. You could use that and be a lawyer. Or other example, my roommate in college, we both entered Berkeley as a math major. I entered as a math major. He did math major. I did not end up being I switched over a few times. He stayed as math major. He graduated as a math major. Today, he's a lawyer as well too, right? So all you need to do is just pass the LSAT, have a degree, pass the LSAT, apply, right? That's pretty much all in applied law school. That's pretty much the big thing there. So keep it in mind. So this, again, is mainly on interest, right? What are you interested in doing? So here's one offered by Georgetown, different deadlines based on different things, different lengths of time. Again, you can start to see, I think I started finding some of the prices in here as well too. 1,500, right? So for some families, not a big deal. For some families, it's a lot as well too. Don't feel like you have to do it based on the price or based on, oh man, I gotta take a loan. Definitely do not take a loan out for summer programs. It's definitely a big no-no to do there. But if you're able to budget for it, or again, see if they have any financial aid to help you cover some of it or all of it as well. Okay. Next one's the Yale Young Global Scholars Program. It's a pretty big program that we know about. 6,000, big one, big fancy one. Again, one of the big questions we get when it comes to these programs, like, oh my God, has the word Yale in it. If I go there, I get in. Does that mean it's going to increase my chances at Yale? The answer is no, right? So these programs, just the programs as well too. The biggest thing is, what do you learn from the experience, right? And plus also, right, when do you have an opportunity to do stuff like this at Yale campus itself? Very, very few opportunities. So again, you're basically kind of paying is making sense, right? I don't like the word pay to play. I get what they mean by that, but I think everything is its own kind of opportunity, right? Is one thing to keep in mind. The other thing to kind of keep an eye out for is, keep in mind that a lot of the programs I look for are like sponsored by the school. There are going to be summer programs out there that are at a school, and that's the difference, right? A school sponsored program or a program at a college, right? The ones at a college, keep in mind, they just paid the school money to rent the building, to rent the space. That's it. It's not like directly associated with the university. They just on their campus itself. Okay. So that's that. Columbia has a program here, 2 weeks, $4,000 here. UCLA mock trial, so 1 week long program. You check them out. And SLC, law and advocacy, you can check that as Georgetown or Yale. Very, very big pre-law kind of schools, 3,500. Harvard pre-law programs as well too. Again, these programs 2 to 4 weeks. Again, keep in mind, these are a lot. That's the law stuff here. Again, all of these are kind of owned by different colleges. and has a name, don't do it simply for that, right? Do it because you're looking through it. Will they offer what makes this program different all the other ones that I'm applying to, and what experience am I going to get at these programs here? Okay. And then next one, business, right? So I think this last chunk maybe, right? Business. So those who are interested in business, technically, just a heads up for those who are preparing for business, I actually will put you to prepare under a STEM track in terms of like preparation academically, right? Prep like a STEM student. However, when it comes to like summer programs and that, technically it's not a STEM, right? In that regard, in that direct regard. So I pulled up STEM summer programs as well too. But again, for those who are following this, again, don't mentally prepare as a humanities student for business, prepare as a STEM student for business, kind of how you want to think of it that way. Wharton, UPenn's program, literally I think the #1 ranked school for business, right? I think right now, you can see that's a lot of money. That's a really fat thing as well too. That man, keep in mind, do you need to do this? No, right? Do you need this? No. Right? But right, when do you get a chance to go to UPenn's campus? Literally the top ranked business school out there, right? So keeping that in mind is all, right? 2-3 week program, you guys figure out for yourself, worth it, not worth it there, right? Next one, Berkeley Business Academy for the Youth, B-Bay as well too, right? Keep in mind the dates, right? So if you see 2024, that means they haven't officially released out 2025 yet, but right, based on kind of what I shared earlier, the deadline will probably most likely be early April based on this as well. Okay, so B-Bay here, February 29th at Berkeley, 2 sessions available, 2 weeks each, 6,000, 7,000 here. Michigan Ross, another incredible business program. This one's fine. This one, they advertise that they do have scholarships available. So again, with all the schools, and by the way, just spoilers, most of them do have scholarship opportunities. So definitely reach out and ask for them for, hey, what can I do to try to see if I can lower the cost a little bit? Again, even if you have the money, try to save some money. It's always good there. Another one's Babson summer study here, 6,000 here, and Launch X. I've actually had a lot of our students go through this program last few years as well too. Launch X is like a business kind of incubator kind of program as well, 5 to 10K again. Pricey, definitely pricey as well. So do you need it? I wouldn't say you need it, right? Could you do it if the money allows? Go for it, right? Is the biggest thing, but don't feel like it. Don't feel like you have to do this to get to a certain school. That's not the takeaway of this lesson. Okay. And I found that was my notes for this the pre-law ones. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much the breakdown. Again, these are not a comprehensive, but like a good starting list, right? A good starting list for you all to start thinking about the different options you guys have, right? Biggest thing is try to figure out what is it that I'm looking for in a program, and then try to figure out, okay, what can I take away there? Okay. Like I mentioned, if anyone is interested in booking a free 15-minute coaching call with our team, there's a link in the chat. Dropped it there. If you're interested, if you want to, instead of clicking it, you can text the word coach also. Does the same thing, either one. Or if you want my notes, again, I got to clean up a few things. Then after that, our team will send you out the notes as well too. Okay. There's a few questions here. Let's go ahead and see if we can answer as well. Are you going to do a webinars about colleges outside United States, like UK, Canada, and Europe? We may do one. We'll see demand. We actually helped send 2 kids internationally, not this last year, but 2 years ago. One to Hong Kong, one to Cambridge. So we've done it once as well. So we know the gist of it is actually it's simple / complicated at the same time. You just gotta follow the requirements is all. If there's demand, we can definitely do that there. And then another question here in the chat. Do colleges like pay to play summer camp? I think I mentioned this earlier in the call already, but keep in mind, right? There's nothing that colleges are looking for in like, oh my God, they did our program, say yes to this student. That's not how colleges kind of react, right? It's basically one of those, cool, you went to this program, what you take from it, what you gain from it as well too. Keeping in mind, there's probably certain things that at the UPenn one, for example, that they have that no other programs offer. And what if that was the one thing that like solidify your love for business or this and that as well too, because that's usually where the love of learning kind of kicks in for a lot of our students who go to summer programs. Like, wow, I love this topic. This allowed me to go really deep into that topic. Because also keep in mind, these schools are going to challenge you, right? They're typically taught by the colleges or some group related to it that is going to have the student be challenged. Most students aren't really challenged in high school, right? Is the thing. So maybe for them, like, wow, and they get excited by that passion, that challenge itself as well too. Okay, awesome. Thank you. You're very, very good. Thank you. I try to be very good as well. All right. With that being said, again, in the chat, if you guys are interested, you can book a call with our team or text the word coach 949. I actually have it on whiteboard today. Yeah, it's gonna boop, 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 right? I'll do it here. All right. Boom. There you go. Text coach or notes. If you guys want the notes, again, give me a few hours for the notes. I got to clean it up a little bit, but then I'll go ahead and send it over as well too. Okay, that is pretty much it for this training here. If you guys are interested, we have a bunch of other trainings on a lot of the topics that you guys are can learn from. If you have any questions, feel free to always reach out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.